Hi, welcome to Freezer Meals 101. I'm Christy.
And I'm Charla, and today we are doing five ingredient recipes. So they are going to be super fast and easy, but just because they're only 5 ingredients doesn't mean they don't taste delicious.
That is correct. And I will point out that in the background, you're going to hear a very excited Robin who is eating at the bird feeder outside of the back door. And there's really not much we're going to do about it because, you know, we put the bird feeder there. So she can stay and eat.
I have to have my windows open today. I just have to because it is hot and my house does not have air conditioning. So we are just going to listen to the lovely sounds of birds.
That's right. I can hear them right now. Not the birds, our commenters and our viewers saying, where do you live that you don't have air conditioning? We're Canadian and we live in Alberta and it's a very dry heat here and we don't, you know, there's like 3 weeks of summer where it's boiling. And
so you don't need it the rest of the year. So we just, you know,
just kind of suffer through. There's a lot of people here that don't have air conditioning.
We run fans. Some of us sleep in the basement at night. Like one of my daughters is sleeping in the basement right now. And you know, you have your spray bottle and you like with water and you spray your spray bottle up and Christy's got her fan.
I started packing it in my purse because, you know, I went to my niece and nephew's grad recently and wished I had had it. And so today when I was here, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, like in between our little talks and takes here, I'm gonna use this sucker because it's warm. And can we just say that perimenopause is fun? And that's all I'm gonna say about that. So let's get back to our recipes. Sorry for the digression there.
This first recipe is cocktail meatballs. Super, super easy, nice to have on hand because if you get unexpected company, you can pull these out, or if you're going to a potluck, these are great to bring. They are a crock pot recipe, so
extra nice for summer
too. Exactly. So into your large freezer bag, you're going to put some pre-cooked meatballs. We just use the frozen ones from Costco. They're good, and best of all, they are easy. Now, sometimes we make our own meatballs for things, but not for this party meatball kind of recipe here. So then we're going to add 8 ounces of jellied cranberry sauce, some chili sauce, brown sugar, and lemon juice. Really, truly, that is it. This is super fast. You're gonna get as much air as you can out of your freezer bag because air causes freezer burn. So let's avoid that. And then on the day that you go to cook this, you actually can cook this from frozen or you can thaw it first. It's always nice to have a few of those recipes that you can cook from frozen. You can simmer this in a saucepan on the stovetop, or you can just cook it on low in your slow cooker for 1 to 2 hours. So it is ready super fast.
It really is.
You could, as a meal, serve this on rice, but really this is designed to be kind of a party food, and so you can just serve it with toothpicks, or if you're like me and you're really busy that day, you can just stick the slow cooker on your island because I've got this plug-in right in the middle of my island.
So handy and so attractive.
But this is the truth. And so we just plug it in right here and just have a spoon in there and people just help themselves.
And that is a-okay. This next recipe is called Mississippi Pot Roast, and I'm going to tell you something funny. Months ago, not months ago, but a while ago, I'm in a supper club with Charla. Those of you who have been around a while know this, and once a month.
We're gonna put a video there to our 1970s themed supper club party.
It was a good one. They aren't all themed, but they are all fun. And the food is always good. And I had made, I think it was like a pasta puttanesca. It had pepperoncini peppers in it, and then I was stuck with the rest of the jar. It called for like 6. And I didn't know what to do with them, and I think I was just mad about it one day. Perimenopause is fun. I said to Charla, I'm like, I have these peppers, I don't know what to do with them, I don't like to eat them on my own. And she said, let me come up with something that we can use those peppers.
Yeah.
And so this is the recipe that came out of that discussion, and let me tell you, I'm so glad that I didn't throw them out. Here we go. We start out with our chuck roast right in the bag. 3 to 5 pounds, whatever you like for your roast size is fine. We're gonna add in those peppers with some juice. We're gonna add in half a cup of butter, 1 pack of the au jus gravy, those packets, a pack of dry ranch dressing. If you get it in bulk, you can use, you know, about 3 heaping-ish tablespoons, and that will be about the same amount as what's in a package. And that's it. You are going to mix it around nicely in your bag. You're going to remove all that excess air. You're gonna seal it up and throw it in your freezer. On the day of cooking, you are going to thaw it. I really do recommend that you thaw a roast first. You're going to have a better cook and it will stay in the safe temperature zone rather than heating that sucker from frozen. And on the slow cooker for 8 hours, and it is going to shred up beautifully. And then when we go to have this, you can have this on buns, you can have this with mashed potatoes, you can have this probably with rice.
I think mashed potatoes
are going to be the way to go because the gravy in there is going to be mwah.
We also want to let you know that we are making up this Mississippi pot roast in less than a week. This is going to be in a video on Sunday, so be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification because we are using this recipe as one of the very, very many recipes because we're doing another freezer meals for one.
And they are a hit. If you haven't watched one before, look for them in our channel because recipes for one are really an important need right now. If you are an empty nester, if you are a college student, if you live alone, if you are widowed, if you are divorced, if you just happen to live
lunches
alone.
To work.
If you take lunches to work.
Eat lunch on your own at home. If you ever have a time when you are by yourself. Freezer meals for one are really, really necessary. And so we loved making those videos because people really need it and they get so happy, and we love it when you guys are happy. And so we are doing another one of those videos and we're gonna cook this up and put it in individual bags. And that's just one of the very many recipes that we're doing up that day. But it's gonna be really fun, and that is on Sunday. So like I said, hit the subscribe and the little bell, ting-a-ting.
And it'll let you know when that's up.
This baked Caesar chicken is kind of like a stealth star. I feel like, you know, when you hear it, you think, it sounds a little bland. It's not gonna be that exciting. But I'll tell you, we get so many comments from people that say this is their favorite recipe, or this is a recipe that they can get their picky kids to eat, or this is a recipe they can get their picky husbands to eat.
It's true, and I think, I mean, if you put enough cheese on anything, most people, it improves the chances of somebody eating it. But this is so much more than that. So just listen up, because this is a really great one.
Okay, in our large freezer bag, we are adding some boneless, skinless chicken breasts, some pepper, and then you're gonna add a cup of the creamy Caesar dressing. Now, in my opinion, the type of dressing you use matters. So I like to use the kind that you can get in the produce section over by the salads at your grocery store. Now, in a pinch, could you use like a bottle of Kraft or No Name? Sure.
Sure you could.
But I really do think this it's like thicker and creamier, and then you can get those ones that have like extra garlic if you want, or whatever.
One.
Yeah.
It just has an extra zip, right?
Yeah.
Because it's fresh, it really, really does.
Then you're gonna add in some sour cream. You're gonna squish that all together to coat your chicken and combine it, and you're gonna take the air out of your bag and seal it. Then in a quart size, that's a medium size freezer bag, you're going to add 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese. You're gonna take the air out of that bag. You're gonna staple those bags together above the seal because you don't want a hole in any of your bags where your food is. And then on the day you go to cook this, you thaw it, you just dump all of the large bag contents into a baking dish, and you sprinkle the cheese on top. You bake it at 375 for 45 to 50 minutes. Now, what I like to do is at the end, turn my oven to broil just for like a minute or two so that that cheese crisps up and you just get like some bubbly goodness happening.
It really, yes, it is nice. And any of the oil that is in the salad dressing will also do the same thing. And it just will have, it's glorious to look at.
You can serve this with pasta or rice, and of course, because there is not a lot of greens or vegetables here, as in none whatsoever, I like to also serve it with a salad or some side veggies.
This next recipe is BBQ salmon. We are fairly big fish eaters for being Albertans because we are not in the ocean. This isn't normally a thing. People don't eat a ton of fish here unless they are fishermen themselves and catch it in our lakes. We do love salmon here though. And this BBQ salmon is perfect for summer. It's great on the barbecue, obviously, but it's the barbecue sauce that gives it the flavor. You can easily do this in the oven too. We start out with our salmon fillets that we're gonna put right into the resealable bag. We're going to add in half a cup of your favorite barbecue sauce, some brown sugar, some sliced green onion, and to make this 5 ingredient, we're gonna add in salt and pepper. If you don't know what salt and pepper is, it is combined salt and pepper so that I can make it into 5 ingredients instead of 6. We're gonna add all this in, squish it around nicely, and gently remove all your excess air and seal it up and freeze it. For cooking, like I said, you can do this on the barbecue, on a plank, or you can do it in your oven. 400 degrees for 20 minutes, you're gonna have it nice and flaky. Serve this with rice, serve it with mashed potatoes. That would also be really, really good. And again, you're gonna wanna add a side to this one.
Broccoli, asparagus, something like that.
Oh, asparagus.
Or, you know, corn on the cob actually.
Oh, you are
would be
right.
Really good with
Super
this.
summer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay, this next one is a 5 ingredient recipe, or it can be like a 6 or 7 ingredient recipe. It depends how you make it. So this is our baked tortellini Alfredo. It is another super popular recipe. I haven't heard of anyone who has tried it who hasn't enjoyed it. A lot of our club members rave about this one, and you can find the link for this in the description down below. So what you're gonna do is you're going to add some tortellini. We use a cheese tortellini, so you can make this one vegetarian or you can add some meat in it. But we like the tricolor rainbow tortellini. You can get them at Costco in a 3-pack, so that allows us to make multiples of this at one time. Then you're gonna add in 2 jars of Alfredo sauce, some mozzarella cheese that's shredded, and then here's where it can be a 5 ingredient or 6 or 7. You wanna add in some mix-ins. So those can be mix-ins of your choice. If you wanna keep this vegetarian, you can do sliced mushrooms, frozen peas, or both. That's a nice combination. You can do sun-dried tomatoes. You can do some onion in there. If you wanna add some meat, you can do some cooked cube chicken or some cooked and crumbled bacon. And we like to kind of switch things up. So you can add some chicken and sun-dried tomato, or some bacon and onion, or some whatever.
Whatever. This is an easy one to switch up.
So you can, the sky is kind of the limit for your mix-ins.
Or you can leave it alone just the way it is.
Absolutely. You can use browned Italian sausage or artichoke hearts. There's a lot of different options here for your mix-ins. Then you're going to get the air out of that bag, seal it, and you're gonna put some Parmesan cheese, again in a quart-size bag, and staple that to your large bag. On the day you go to cook this, you're going to put it in a casserole dish. You're gonna top it with that Parmesan cheese and bake it in the oven. You wanna remove the cover or the foil, if you've covered it with foil, for the last about 10 minutes of bake time, just to allow that cheese on top to kind of crisp up again and make sure that everything is melted and cheesy goodness there. Now this is one that works really well also as an individual freezer meal. So if you wanted to make this into individual freezer meals, what you would do is on the day that you assemble this, instead of putting the ingredients into a bag, you would mix everything in a large bowl. And again, if you want, you can double or triple this with that Costco pack, right? So then you gotta use a giant bowl.
And then you can alternate your mix-ins too.
Totally. And then you just want to spoon this into those individual baking, like foil baking dishes. And you can top each one with the Parmesan cheese right then and there, and then top them with the lid and freeze them just like that. And then you can pop these in the oven when you need them, and they are so nice to have in the individual servings.
And if you don't have that much room in your freezer, another alternative would be to just spoon a couple of cups worth into a medium size or a quart size freezer bag, because then they still will freeze flat, just like our big ones do. And you can just fit a few more in, that's all. If you're short on freezer space, that's a good way to do it too. And then you can still pop it out and put it in a small casserole dish and cook it, but you could also cook this in the microwave.
Yes.
You really could just reheat it, because the pasta
not
is
in
fresh.
The foil container.
Not in the foil container. Please don't do that in the foil container in the microwave. Because it's fresh pasta, it cooks fast.
Right up in there.
Right
up
so
in the
it
sauce.
won't take long, and still delicious. And that's it. How easy was that? 5 meals with 5 ingredients in kind of 5 minutes. These weren't hard to put together.
Super fast to put together. And there actually, for these, was not a lot of prep, because we weren't using like ground beef that we had to brown ahead of time or anything like that. And so really, these are truly dump and go recipes.
They really are. And man, if you just doubled these, you would have 10. Bam, into your freezer really fast, and you would just, we speak from experience. It feels so good to know that those meals are in there.
Not having to think about what to make for dinner is even better than not having to cook. Like, it's just so great.
No, you're totally right.
Because, I don't know, for those of you that don't know, Christine and I are neighbors. We have been doing freezer meals together for over 11 years. And I just was looking at something on my personal Facebook page the other day. It was like one of those memories that pop up. And it said that apparently I started doing freezer meals on my own regularly in 2006.
No kidding.
Isn't that nuts?
It's 2023. Whoa, we have to do hard math here. That's 17 years.
That's 17 years.
No, and I probably started around 2009 myself,
Yeah.
2008, 2009. So we're experts. We figure we've done over 5,000 together.
And now a lot more, because
a lot more.
We just finished, we'll put a video there, 153 in one go. Now, it was a 2-day marathon, and we had done prep before. So we're not saying you can do, 153 in an hour or anything, but go check that out if you want to see how we really feed both of our families, and how we have been feeding them for a long time. Saves us so much money, so much time, but what we like most is it saves us the mental space.
Absolutely. That feeling of, oh, it's 4:30. What am I going to take out for supper? I already took it out and it's fully made, and I can just pop it in the oven and put my mental energy towards other things that are more important.
And goodness knows, we've got a lot of those.
We do so. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you find something down below that you have been dying to make, and now you can.
Happy cooking.
Bye.